Il y a plusieurs modèles de moteurs de recherche. Celui qui est utilisé par Google et qui est le modèle dominant aujourd'hui, ce sont des robots qui circulent sur les tuyaux de l'Internet et qui vont chercher des informations dans tous les endroits où c'est ouvert et où c'est accessible.
They go to each page and they look at each word on each page and they bring it back to their disks and they index all of the words that are on that page. They're doing it constantly for all the pages in the world.
If I can throw in a story, I stayed in a bed and breakfast with an elderly woman, started talking about how she discovered this great search engine called Google, and what she would do was type in the names of the foods she had left over in her fridge, followed by the word soup, and it would return a recipe that contained those ingredients. And so I think that this was the most down-to-earth or simple example I'd seen of just listing what you wanted to find and having the search engine find it for you.
Dans chaque site web, il y a plusieurs pages. Chacune des pages est, entre guillemets, pistée, traquée, et on calcule les liens qu'il y a entre deux sites web. Et donc, ce calcul vous permet d'avoir la pertinence.
You tend to find the pages that are most popular based on what other people think, who points to them. And that's at the heart of their system. The so-called page.
Il faut savoir que derrière l'algorithme de Google sont plusieurs dizaines de millions d'équations mathématiques qui vous donnent ce sentiment d'avoir des résultats, sentiment et aussi, ce qui est vrai, des résultats très pertinents.
This is, in some sense, if you imagine like having a librarian that wanders from library to library, reading all the books in all the libraries everywhere to collect up find out what are all the articles there that might be relevant to you when you ask this librarian a question. And this would be ludicrous for a person to do this, but when you have tens of thousands of computers like Google does, spending time wandering across the web where they can access computers in Russia, in Iceland, in Turkey, in Argentina, all over the world, suddenly something which we couldn't even conceive of doing before the internet now becomes possible. It just takes a lot of computers to do it well.
And the people at Google, who had this early vision of organizing all of the world's information, were right. And what was so remarkable about Google early on is that people went there because they resonated with the simplicity of the front page.
So how's school going?
Good.
Good. Tell me a little bit about school.
I paint.
You paint? What do you paint?
Flower.
Oh, pretty, like your dress? Really? Let's see if you really learn a lot. Who is the President of the United States?
I don't know. Let's Google it.
Google? Who taught you about Google? What is Google?
It's a .com website, and it tells you everything you want to know.
It does?
The single most popular page on the internet is the Google homepage. Google.com has a white background, familiar logo. There's not a single ad on that page. And it drives the venture capitalists who ultimately back Sergey Brin and Larry Page crazy, because they say, here's the most popular page with the most eyeballs, and you won't put any ads on this page. And they want the page to load as fast as possible. Their goal is to let computer users find the information that computer users want as fast as they can, and then to provide ads that are not intrusive and that are... The Googleplex is the headquarters of Google. It's located in Mountain View, California, in Silicon Valley. It's like a graduate school campus on steroids. I mean, it's a wild place.
Well, we try to provide a really comfortable environment here, and also we make it playful to increase creativity.
How are you doing?
Hey, David, how are you?
Pretty good. What's up?
Oh, not much, but we're making a movie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone.
All right. See you at the Tech Talk.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Jen Fitzpatrick, and I'm an engineering director here at Google.
La meilleure façon d'entretenir de la matière grise, il faut que la matière grise se sente à l'aise. En d'autres termes, on leur offre des conditions de travail qui sont absolument uniques, ne serait-ce qu'aux États-Unis.
We have the on-site gourmet cafes.
You're surrounded by very bright, very enthusiastic people, and things happen really quickly.
The weather is great, the people are great. You've got San Francisco just 40 minutes away from Google.
That I think Google is famous for.
They've really gone a long way to optimize that stuff for employees. So there's on-site car wash. You can get on-site haircuts. You don't have to leave to get a haircut. I think there's a doctor on site. So if you're sick and stuff, you can just walk on by. There's a gym there, things like that. And so as an employee, it's really nice. I mean, you are able to kind of get rid of all the distractions from, everyday life, just running errands and stuff, and really focus in on doing good work.
Even let people bring their dogs to work with them. No cats allowed. And they have washers and dryers at the Googleplex. In effect, what they've tried to do is eliminate the distinction between work and play.
Google has had a tremendous impact on the Valley because it has been able to get the best and brightest.
Google is the place to be. It's the hottest place to be. They have hired many of the most talented people away from Microsoft, from IBM, and from other technology companies. So Bill Gates has said he views Google as...
Choose life. Choose a job. Choose a career. Choose a family. Choose a...
Their homepage. Google has a presence in more than 100 countries, over 100 languages, and remarkably, it is the company which has achieved the highest value, fastest of any corporation in American history. Google will be bigger than Microsoft and IBM because the platform on which it rests, the internet, is much larger.
Google's big secrets is the immense scale of the computing facility. How much traffic is coming to Google, they continue to be very responsive. And so they've built a computing infrastructure that is really like no other in the world. They have built the world's largest computer. And even though it's made up of many, many microprocessors, my best guess is they now have somewhat more than 450,000 computers in perhaps between 10 and 20 now they've built there that are about each as long as a football field and half as wide. And I was not permitted to go inside.
La capacité de traitement de Google est la plus grande au monde aujourd'hui. Ça doit être plusieurs fois ce que les administrations les plus puissantes ou les entreprises les plus puissantes ont. C'est sans commune mesure. Ils sont sur une autre planète dans ce domaine-là. Toute entreprise visant à combattre ou à rentrer en compétition avec Google doit savoir qu'il lui faudra des milliards de dollars et des années avant d'arriver à cette infrastructure. Donc, il faut être plus intelligent parce qu'on ne pourra pas être aussi dispersé et aussi puissant en termes de serveurs, d'ordinateurs et de tuyaux les reliants.
Google decided early on that it would be a competitive advantage to have more computing power than their closest competitors. And they also believed that if they could hide that fact, they would get an even bigger advantage.
Google a une attitude vis-à-vis de la presse assez paradoxale, c'est-à-dire que d'un côté, ils adorent qu'on raconte leur aventure, leur légende ou leur mythologie. Quant à la réalité des projets tels qu'ils les mènent à bien, là, c'est totalement secret, quoi.
What's the next big new thing?
Oh, if we knew that, we wouldn't be able to tell you.
C'est une révolution.
On sait qu'aux États-Unis, dans la classe d'âge 15-30 ans à peu près, 44-45% des gens vont tous les jours s'informer sur Internet et moins de 20% lisent un journal. Donc là, tout d'un coup, dans cette génération qui va continuer à grandir et à vieillir, l'habitude est bien clairement prise d'aller préférentiellement sur Internet plutôt que d'avoir un rapport au papier ou un rapport aux médias dits classiques.
Sur les États-Unis, je crois qu'ils ils recensent 4500 sources d'informations et toutes les 10 minutes, ils changent la une, ils sélectionnent les informations les plus récentes, les informations les plus importantes. Il n'y a pas d'intervention des individus de Google, c'est fait par des algorithmes et donc il suffit d'aller à Google News pour avoir une vision de ce qui est en train de se passer.
Il y a des gens, parmi les plus jeunes, qui considèrent qu'il est plus facile de faire confiance à une formule mathématique qu'à des êtres humains. Et donc Google News est entre guillemets, une idée que je ne défends évidemment pas, mais que Google News est entre guillemets plus objectif, parce que calé sur un mécanisme de plus c'est demandé, plus c'est important, et donc plus c'est important, plus je mets en haut. C'est ça Google News. Donc ils font plus confiance à cette formule mathématique-là qu'à une collectivité humaine qui se réunit autour d'une table avec des gobelets de café en disant aujourd'hui quelle est l'information, ou cette semaine, quelle est l'information la plus importante qu'on a à traiter.